Our word of the week this week is Moros, which means foolish or stupid. If we look down to the second line, we see Moron, which we get our English word moron from. Moros is the nominative masculine singular, whereas moron is the accusative masculine singular, or the nominative and or accusative neuter singular. But either way, we get moron from moros, which is our word of the week, foolish or stupid. There are other terms that mean mindless, thoughtless, unthinking, ignorant, but this word is more about being deficient in or out of sync with the situation or with the circumstances. It can be used of both people and things, and when it's used about things, it tends to be about situations and circumstances more than like items, like physical items. Let's dive right in and start with people. This is in 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 10, and the Koine is supplied, reading from the ESV. For I think that God has exhibited us apostles as last of all, like men sentenced to death, because we have become a spectacle to the world, to angels, and to men. We are fools for Christ's sake, but you are wise in Christ. We are weak, but you are strong. You are held in honor, but we in disrepute. So if we look at our word for where it says we are fools, it's moroi. So that is the nominative masculine plural of moros, moroi. We are fools. But jump down and take a look at the contrast. Wise is phronomoi. Phronomoi is wise, but normally we expect sophos for wise, right? Sophia is wisdom. But here we get phronomoi. This is wisdom in a practical sense. This is like the wisdom to know what to do. So we get a different kind of wisdom than we might normally expect. But let's take a look at the other kind of wisdom. Let's go on to 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27. But God chose what is foolish, tamora, in the world to shame the wise, tous sophos. So that there we get sophos is the accusative plural of sophos. So the foolish, what is foolish people. It sounds like things, but he's referring to the apostles chosen by God. So even though it might sound like foolish things, tamora, he's referring to the apostles chosen by God. But let's go ahead and look at an example where it is a thing or things that we're dealing with. And this is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 23. Again, the ESV with the Koine supplied. Have nothing to do with foolish, ignorant controversies. You know that they breed quarrels. So here we have tas moros. Have nothing to do with the foolish and the ignorant controversies. All those do is breed contempt. Now, we have one occurrence here where Jesus uses the word of the week. And let's take a look at that because it's probably the most instructive and most significant. We're in Matthew chapter 5, verse 22 in the Sermon on the Mount where we read, "But I say to you that everyone who is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. Whoever insults his brother will be liable to the council, and whoever says, 'You fool,' more, will be liable to the hell of fire." So more is in the vocative case, the case of calling. Here, quite literally, in the case of name calling. He says, if you call someone a fool, more, you fool. And notice earlier, he refers to insulting your brother. The ESV says, whoever insults his brother. But it's literally whoever calls his brother hraka. And hraka is an Aramaic word, and it means empty. So whoever insults his brother, whoever says to his brother Hraka, also in the vocative case. Hraka, empty person, like vain person, vapid person, empty person, will be subject to judgment by the Sanhedrin, by the council. But then he says, if you call your brother more, if you say you fool, you're subject not to judgment by the council, but you're subject to the judgment that leads to hellfire. Pretty extraordinary stuff, isn't it? What's the difference between calling someone hraka and calling someone more? Well, hraka, emptiness, is a lack of substance. But when you call someone a fool, you're describing, if you say to them, you're stupid, you're foolish, you're describing a deficit to them, that they're inadequate, they're not what they were made to be, right? Pretty wild stuff. So what do we learn from Jesus' use of more in the vocative here? We learn that name calling subjects a person to judgment, but also that not all name calling is created equal. Some lead you to judgment by an earthly council, others lead you to judgment that can result in hellfire. So our word of the week, moros, foolish or stupid, can be used of people or things. It's the antonym of wisdom, of being wise, both in a practical sense and in an intellectual sense. It's significant. Above all else, do not forget that according to Jesus, when using this word moros against another person, you subject yourself to significant and severe, perhaps even the ultimate judgment. Moros, word of the week. Don't be a moros, be sophos, be wise. Sophia is to be preferred over being a moron. Thanks for watching today. I hope it was good for you. Like, share, subscribe, hit the little notification dinger, and leave me your feedback in the comments. And until next time, Karis Kairene Humin, grace and peace to you.